What's up, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're an aspiring high achiever who wants to move the needle from intention to execution, you're absolutely in the right place. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about some concepts I learned from the book titled Talk Like Ted, written by Carmine Gallo. Now, I have been in this situation more than once, where I have got great ideas, but really my inability to articulate myself causes people to not listen or to not give second thought to my ideas, my concepts, and my contributions. The biggest advantage that you can have in your career is the ability to communicate effectively to not only your leader or your colleagues, but also to an audience of people that may not necessarily be working in your area. That ability to communicate an idea clearly will push the needle on the dial for you so that you get more opportunities and your ideas are heard. So this is one of the things that really prompted me to want to search more on how I could possibly communicate effectively to a wide variety of audiences. And so this is where Talk Like TED came in. Now, I was just browsing in the library and I saw the title and I was like, hey, I've seen a couple of TED Talks and they all seem to be quite excellent. So what is it that the TED speakers know that I probably don't? And so Carmine Gallo breaks it down for us. In the book, he gives you an idea, he gives you an example of like a TED Talk that he's talking about, and he breaks down the thing about that TED Talk that made it amazing in terms of like a being an excellent speaker point of view. So he's talked about a couple of concepts that I just wanted to touch on in this video. The first one is being passionate about your topic. There is a difference in talking about something and say for instance, saying, I went to the shops on Saturday, and there's a difference with that. And I went to the shops on Saturday, right? If you add some passion to it, it all automatically becomes more engaging and more interesting to the audience. So that was the first thing he mentioned, the importance of adding passion to the topics or to the story that we are presenting. The second thing that he talks about is the importance of storytelling. And he gives an example of a lawyer who was talking about his area of work, and you know he gives us the title of the TED Talk, and so I actually went and listened to the TED Talk, and you know, to be able to see what Carmine was describing in his book. And this lawyer started off with a couple of stories, and it almost felt like each and every concept that he was trying to bring across, he put in a story so that it was easy for the audience to digest, to understand, and to follow, especially because it was such a heavy topic on the American prison system. And so that's another thing that is important for us to incorporate in our where possible in our speeches and stuff like that, bridging in stories to be able to engage the audience so that they it's like almost like you're taking the audience on a journey. So he brings out the importance of storytelling. And then the third idea that he brought out that I thought was important was in his book, he says, have a conversation. And in that subtopic, basically, he was talking about the importance, or he was bringing out the importance of practicing our speeches, and having a conversation with potential audiences to refine and retouch whatever speech that we're preparing for. And I thought that was really, really important, because it's easy to think that public speaking is inherent for some people. They don't really have to practice, they don't really have to prepare, it just comes naturally to them. And so that um, thinking that way makes it easy to then conclude that I've tried public speaking once or twice before, wasn't very comfortable, felt very nervous, didn't go so well, so probably public speaking isn't for me. But that's not the right approach to have. It's important to understand that most of the people who are excellent public speakers, it is because they practice, practice, practice. They refine their content and practice again. So I think that was a really, really important concept for us to that he brought out, to buttress the point that, not a lot of people are born natural speakers. If you speak to a lot of people that do public speaking, they also mention that they sometimes feel quite nervous before they got on stage. And if you then gather from that nervousness feedback that, you're not a public speaker and so you probably should stop, that's not the right approach to have. Here on this channel, as I have been learning over the past couple of months as well, from a book that I talk about so often called Mindset, written by Carol Estwerk, is that there are two types of people in this life. There are people with the fixed mindset and there are people with the growth mindset. The fixed mindset believes that what is, and it cannot be changed, it cannot be improved upon. So if I'm intelligent, I'm intelligent. I don't really need to work hard for it. It just comes naturally. If I'm dull, I'm dull. No amount of studying will help me to get out of that position. But that's not the correct mindset to have, to go through life, especially in a world where things are constantly changing, things are consistently, in terms of technology, changing all the time. It's more beneficial, more important for us to have the growth mindset, the mindset that says that, okay, if I've tried something once and it didn't work out, that's feedback to say I did not do it the correct way, that there is another way that I could do it better. How can I learn how to do it better? Where can I get the information that will enable me to get to the next stage of my journey? The growth mindset is consistently looking at feedback as an opportunity to do something differently, to grow, to change, to advance. So similarly with the public speaking, right? I think that's the same approach that we should take towards public speaking. That, hey, I'm not a great speaker at the moment, but I can grow, I can learn, I can practice, I can incorporate different tips and tricks that will enable me to become better at at public speaking. And the better I become at public speaking, the more confident I become, the more I'll probably advance in my career and in areas of my life that I want to grow. Because communication and the ability to communicate is a really, really, really important skill to have. And so even in Toastmasters, right? Like if a person does a speech, they get feedback on things that they can grow and that they can improve, that they can change, right? And so I think that's the same thing, the same mindset that we're supposed to have, a growth mindset, a mindset that seeks to advance, to become better, and takes negative feedback as an opportunity for growth and change. So I'll be talking about the more concepts in this book over the next couple of weeks, so that I think we really dive into what this book is teaching us and really soaking it all in. So thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me today. Let me know in the comments section below what books on communication you would highly recommend, because I can use all the help I can get. And so thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Really appreciate your company. Give this video a thumbs up if you'd like to see more content like this. And until next time, see ya.